Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my tapping channel. Today we're going to be talking about EFT tapping and anxiety, and I want to tell you a little bit about my experience of anxiety, what works, what didn't work, and why I use tapping for pretty much everything, combined with hypnotherapy and other various different sort of more gestalt type of techniques. Before I dive into the topic though, I'm Sandra Inman. I'm the author of Tapping into Abundance, using EFT tapping and the law of attraction to change your mindset and turn your life around. And if you want to change your mindset, turn your life around, get over the fear, the anxiety, and the self-doubt that's holding you back. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. If you want to watch an awesome masterclass about EFT tapping, shadow work, which is that deep dive into the parts of you that you know are there but you can't see, that's causing you problems in your life, along with balancing your chakras, take a look at my free masterclass. It's called How to Heal Your Shadow through Balancing Your Energy Centers, and the link is in the description field below this video. So I wanted to talk today about anxiety because it's something that I think seems to be growing more and more. There are many, many people who experience anxiety regularly. Some only experience it every so often or may have bouts of anxiety. Anxiety is a pretty ugly way to feel. And even though in and of itself, it's not dangerous and it's not actually doing anything to us that is putting us in any danger in any way, it is such a horrible, horrible, horrible feeling that you just can't stand it, essentially. And it can affect you physically in many uncomfortable ways. Some of the ways that I've experienced anxiety when I've had bouts of it has been in nausea, not being able to even eat because I can't digest the food, a lot of really serious indigestion. And no matter what I take for it, whether it's digestive enzymes or whether it is other sorts of natural things, it does not settle that stomach down. I find I have to be on anti-nausea medication in order to even just sleep when it comes to having had those experiences in the past of really chronic anxiety. So for some people, it can really affect the digestive system in really negative ways. I know some people that experience diarrhea with it, and also you can experience really, really tight intercostal muscles, or those muscles in your chest area that get so tight that it's actually even hard to breathe because the muscles are just so locked and they're so tight. I have experienced that. I have experienced the shaking with anxiety where it's just so bad you're shaking and you can't stop the shaking. And whilst a lot of us probably have experienced that, maybe when we've had to do public speaking or we've had to perform in some way and are particularly nervous in those situations, which a lot of people can feel, when you have an anxiety disorder or you're in really bad states of anxiety, that's going on even if there's nothing actually there that you would think would be causing it. And I've experienced that too. I've experienced such bad, I guess, malnutrition from having had anxiety, not being able to eat properly, that my skin has started to flake. And I've known it's because I wasn't able to eat properly due to having chronic anxiety. Some people get migraines, some people get headaches, some people get a really stiff neck. There's all different ways that anxiety can manifest, and it's not fun. And if you don't do something about it, it does end up affecting your health in the long term. So you want to make sure that you find ways to be able to manage the anxiety. Now, I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a medical practitioner. I am an EFT practitioner that has had personal experience with having had it. So I'm just speaking from my own personal experience and how EFT has worked for me in helping me with the anxiety. And the reason why it helped is because unlike other methods unlike cognitive behavior therapy or methods that rely more on strategies, which are more to do with the conscious mind and that little part of our thinking, the conscious mind that might be rational and might be logical and can identify each and every one of those distorted thinking names such as overgeneralization, catastrophizing, black and white thinking. You can list all of the different distorted thinking that comes out in cognitive behavior therapy, and I could identify even my thoughts or what was going on in my head that even could fit into each and every one of those. However, knowing that I was generalizing, overgeneralizing, or catastrophizing, or doing something like that didn't change the fact that I was feeling anxious, and it didn't change any of the physical symptoms that I was experiencing. There are strategies that maybe you can sometimes implement to help with anxiety, and perhaps that may help in the short term, or if the anxiety is incredibly mild. So for example, if you get performance anxiety, maybe there's some deep breathing that you can do before you're out there performing that can help settle the nervous system down so that you can think about and get a little clearer about what it is you're going to go out there and do when you perform. The same with social anxiety. You may find that there's different physiological techniques that you can use to help settle you down, because that type of anxiety it's related to a circumstance. It's related to something that you're going to go and do. And then once it's done, you're probably going to feel a lot better. But when it comes to generalized anxiety, or the anxiety that I had experienced, you just can't go around deep breathing all the time. Like it's just not something you could do. And I certainly couldn't do it. So while the deep breathing helped while I was doing the deep breathing, when I stopped doing the deep breathing, of course, the symptoms would come back. And the reason for me, anyway, why all of that was there was because I had all of these beliefs and all of these thoughts and these perceptions about myself and the world that were causing me to react in an anxious way through my nervous system emotionally. And when I investigated what these thoughts and what these beliefs were, I could identify them. And in the past with counseling, I was able to identify a lot of the thoughts and a lot of the beliefs, but there wasn't a lot of tools around at the time to actually help change the subconscious mind, because all of this is going on in our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind dominates pretty much 90 to 95% of our behavior, our thoughts, and our feelings, and our perceptions of the world. So while my conscious mind could be there going, well, you're catastrophizing again, so just stop doing it. It's like, well, subconscious mind's programmed to do that, and it's not going to stop doing it just because my conscious mind told it to. So what I found was the modalities that work directly with the subconscious mind, such as emotional freedom technique and hypnotherapy, were incredibly beneficial. Now, there's other techniques that are similar to hypnotherapy, such as NLP, that has a very similar connection to hypnotherapy in the way that it works. I haven't done a lot of NLP, so I can't say whether it would have worked for me or not. All I've experienced is emotional freedom technique and hypnotherapy. And when I've combined the two, I have found that they were incredibly helpful, not just to calm my nervous system down so that I wasn't in this state of anxiety, but because when I could actually change the beliefs that were causing it in the first place. These modalities that talk to your subconscious mind and help change your subconscious programming actually treat the cause of the anxiety. They're not just there trying to put a band-aid over the symptoms. And a lot of the strategies and the tools that are out there that you might read about in books or even through some forms of coaching may just be that. They may just simply be tools that you're using where you're relying on your conscious mind to be able to settle your subconscious, and they might work temporarily, but it's always a case of having to manage the anxiety. Whereas going into that deep dive into the beliefs that are causing it in the first place actually made it so that I didn't have to manage anything. it would change over time. It changed to the point where I've only ever experienced a really bad bout of anxiety when my partner died mid last year. So outside of that, and I simply dealt with that through hypnotherapy and EFT. So it's all of these thoughts and these beliefs that we have about ourselves and the world that are causing us to fear the world, to fear change, to fear stepping out into who we truly are, to fear speaking to people and meeting new people, and especially if you want to go out and do dating or something like that, it's all the thoughts and beliefs that might be stopping you from doing that. And that's what they are, beliefs. And beliefs can be changed. And this is where EFT can help change beliefs. And I know from my own personal experience that it works. And while a lot of people will say EFT doesn't work, it's probably because they either have worked with a practitioner in very, very short term, they might have had one session, and it's not going to work in one session, or they've just been doing the tap along videos, which I do on YouTube, and many other people do on YouTube as well, and expect that the tap along videos are going to fix it, and they're not. It didn't fix mine. I had to actually learn how to do EFT for myself and work with somebody. What the tap along videos do is they introduce you to EFT, they introduce you to different ways of thinking, and they may open you up to some realizations about some of the thoughts that may actually be causing these issues, such as anxiety, anger, resentment, and feeling basically icky and not enjoying yourself. They're not necessarily going to change anything, particularly if it's something that's very deep. It's something that comes from your childhood, which most of this stuff comes from, and there's a lot of stuff to unwrap and unpack. The only way that you can really work with EFT is to work with it in a longer time frame, couple of months working with it, to really know that it is actually changing and working for you, because it can work in a subtle way. You may not know it's working until you realize that you're not doing the same things you did before. You're not acting the same way you acted before. You're actually feeling different to how you felt before. You may be in a social situation and you're feeling more comfortable in that situation compared to how you were 4 months ago. So it's a gradual change. It's not a quick fix. I know some people talk about, the 5-minute phobia release that you can have with EFT, and that does happen. But a phobia, like a fear of snakes or a fear of spiders, isn't the same as having all of these feelings about doubting ourselves, being afraid to speak up, being afraid to express ourselves, being afraid of being rejected, afraid of being abandoned, afraid of people criticizing us, afraid of not being seen as being a good person, afraid of being angry in case, people start to label you as this, that, or the other, afraid to step out and do the things you really want to do with your life because you're worried about what other people are going to say or think about you. These things can cause the anxiety that we feel, particularly if we're going to actually take action on doing and being who we know we truly are. And sometimes the fear behind our fears and anxiety can be anger. It can actually be anger that's causing the feeling of anxiety because we're angry about a situation. We're angry that this is happening or that is happening. We're angry that we can't do the thing that we want to do, or we're angry at that person because they did that or the other. We may even be angry at ourselves. Or we may just fear being alone or feeling the fear of aloneness. All of these fears are to do with how we perceive ourselves in the world. And sometimes they have very easy solutions. For example, the fear of aloneness could be easily settled by going out and being more social. But if you've got social anxiety and that's stopping you from being social, then you've got a lot more work to do on making the changes you need to make to help yourself get out there and be more social, make friends, and have a sense of belonging and connection to other people. So anxiety can have a lot of different causes, and most of them actually come from our childhood. And my experience has been, from having had counseling, gone through all of the different more traditional modalities, that the ones that work with the subconscious mind to actually change the beliefs in the first place are the ones that work in the long term. They may take longer than you want them to take to work. I often work with people depending on how I guess chronic it is in regards to the self-doubt and the inability to be able to step out and do the things that they want to do in the world due to fear and anxiety. Sometimes I can work with people, up to 4 months, 3 to 4 months. Sometimes it may even go up to 12 months, depending on how much is there in the subconscious mind that's actually stopping the person from really, really, really stepping out. So this can be something that isn't going to be fixed in the short term. So don't be surprised if you have been to maybe one EFT session and it didn't change everything for you, because it is like anything. You're peeling an onion and you have to go layer upon layer upon layer. So if you do want to work with me one-on-one, you can certainly do that. I offer a free half-hour clarity session for people so that we can have a chat, get to know each other, and find out more about you and what is causing your self-doubt and your inability to be able to step into who you truly are, whether that is just in taking action on something, maybe social anxiety, or maybe you've got issues regarding career or money, or something that's actually related to you not being able to do the things that you feel you want to do or need to do to have those things. Have a chat about that for half an hour. And if we are a match and you're really committed to making the change and you really value your freedom to be able to move through these things, and you really do want to work on making the change once and for all, then we can talk about working together. There's a link in the description field below this video that you can click on, fill out, and it will come back to me, and then I will give you the link to my calendar to book a clarity session. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra, and I will see you on the next video.